Old School Bodybuilding Clothing Company. If leg day was yesterday and now you're wondering why toilets are so damn low, you are definitely old school. If you're the only athlete at your gym that knows there's a contest today and it's to see who trains the hardest, you are old school. OSBBC.com for the hardest training athletes.
Welcome back to Live with, brought to you by Species Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm joined by two men, one who is a very old friend of mine, and no pun on the word old. We're talking about Antonio Diaz and Troy Alves. Welcome to the show.
What's up, D?
Thank you.
Troy, man, you know what? All my friends make fun of me because I have kids, and I'm like 53 now, and I have like a year and a half old, and I got a 5 and a 3-year-old. You make me feel good because you got grandkids and you got 2 young new kids, a 2 and a 4-year-old. I envy you. How old are you now, Troy?
Hey, I'm not much older than you, Mr. D.
I know. What are you, 55?
54. I'll be 55 in September.
Okay, yeah, you're 2 years older than me. But
yeah.
How does it feel to be a dad? Hold on. How does it feel to be a dad? I got to ask you this because after having already raised kids and having grandkids, is it weird?
No, absolutely not. It's probably the best thing I've ever experienced in my life, because you think about it, when I had my daughter at such a young age, I was inexperienced. I'm just trying to survive. I'm trying to provide. So I don't have the opportunity to be a hands-on dad.
Sure.
To experience all the crying, the dad, the wants, the needs, and be patient with it. But now I'm at a different stage in my life where I get to love and appreciate all those moments of chaos and craziness, and it's like I smile at it. Now it's just, they drive me crazy, but at the same time I just love, like, my little daughter, she'll sit there and play with her dolls. And I want to record it because I just appreciate her creativity, and just I'm sure you feel the same way.
Oh yeah. Do you feel like you have more knowledge going into this second grouping of kids than you did when you were originally a parent? Absolutely.
It's just the night and day. The parenting, when I was younger, man, I just couldn't parent because all I thought about was if you provide for them, then you're parenting.
Right.
It's like, and now with the world the way it is, it's so important, especially for us as men and as fathers, that we set a guideline for what we want for our kids, and I can do that now on the direction I want her to go with her life. I want her to grow up with a certain standard, and now I'm in a position to teach her the ways of the world and how to cope with what's to come.
Absolutely. How does it feel, being retired and not, competing anymore? You don't have any desire to get back to that, do you?
Yeah, but look at this, man.
But you're a genetic freak. Don't. Come
on, D. Come on. No, it feels amazing, man. I'm just like, I watch him train hard, and I just think to myself, God, I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. And
really, you never get the itch again. I mean, you've won a lot of pro shows in your day. At different, at Open 212. I mean, you've pretty much done it all. You never thought about, hey, maybe I could do Classic.
Absolutely not. I mean, Classic just came at the wrong time. But when I was done, when you're doing shows, I was listening to my body, because when I knew the last 2 shows, even though I won my 212 show right before that Olympia,
right,
I didn't feel well in between prejudging and night show, and I was like, that was unusual for me. And then when I got to Olympia, the same thing happened, even worse. I felt I didn't even make it to the night show at the Olympia.
Sure.
I knew that was a sign, like, man, your body's not recovering the way it once was, and I listened to it, and I never had to look back again. Even though I loved Classic, it just wasn't the right timing for me, and I never second guessed it at all.
Yeah, you were smart to do that. Now, how did you guys hook up, Antonio and Troy?
Tell him, Antonio.
So I just moved out to Arizona about 3 months ago. But as we moved out, obviously we're looking for gyms in the area. So someone pointed me in the direction of EOS. So I went to EOS. What is it called? EOS?
Yeah.
And my wife and I left the gym, and I was looking for flaxseed oil. So I happened to stop by at a supplement shop a couple doors down from the gym. So I walk in, I see this big picture of Troy in the back, just posing, right? So I'm talking, and the guy's like, yeah, you know that guy? I'm like, no, just got out here, da-da-da. He's like, yeah, yeah, well, he used to own this store. And and he was, and I didn't, I'm new. Dave, I'm still new to bodybuilding, so I don't really know a lot of people. But I'm like, oh, yeah. He's like, yeah, check him out, man. He's really good. So based on what I seen, I'm like, I feel like if this guy know the trend, he could take me to where I need to go.
Yeah.
So he said, you need to go to Fitness One gym. And I didn't even know how far that was. I was like, all right, I'll be there tomorrow. So I happened to go to the gym the next day.
Yeah.
I got like my hoodie and stuff on. I noticed Troy. He didn't know who I was. I knew who he was.
You didn't hear his big booming voice? Hey, what's going on over there?
Oh, yeah.
You could blindfold me. I'd be able to find Troy just with that voice.
Here's the crazy part. I'm training, right? And I think I kind of got close to him. I said, hey, man, I want to. No, he comes up to me like, you got something under that hoodie or something like that he was saying. I was like, yeah, I got a little bit. I said, but listen, I need to talk to you anyway. Someone pointed me to you. So we end up talking. Yeah. And I never had a trainer. I've never hired a personal trainer.
Oh, really? Funny.
But, I got with Troy. He said he'll train me. And it was actually the best decision I made in bodybuilding. Seriously.
Now, you're a classic guy, obviously. What's
yes.
Since you've been training together, what's the game plan for this year?
Well, I wanted because I'm new to him. I don't know his body well yet, so yeah. I'm trying to figure it out. I want to make sure I understand it before I put him in, decide on a show. Because I don't know how he adapts to certain things, certain styles of training, and so on and so forth. So I want to feel his body out and have a little program going on, an off-season program, and see where I can take his body and see the balance of it. I'm always the guy that kind of wants to stay in shape while I'm trying to change my physique as best as I can. So I want to do the same thing for him. So once I see the direction his body goes with our training, then we can set a standard, a timeline on a show from there. But he's got all the potential in the world. He's got all the flow and the lines and everything else. It's just a matter of rounding things off, balancing stuff out, and not trying to play the size game at all because you're a classic bodybuilder. But you want to me, when you grow is when you make the illusion more prominent. So it's not about just getting big for the sake of big. When I look at his physique, I'm trying to pinpoint little areas that he can grow and concentrate on this stuff because he's got powerful legs that are sweeping. Now it's a matter of just bringing the hamstrings up to kind of balance it out from the side and just a little bit more cap to the shoulders, a little bit more detail, a little more thickness to the back, little things. But he's got everything there. It's just a matter of filling it out and just making it more complete.
How much weight do you actually have that you can gain while still staying in that class, Antonio?
So I know the cutoff for me is 180. So we were targeted. We're not going to go over 20. We're not going to go over 200 pounds. So we're going to stay within that.
200 to 203, something like that. I think.
What did you compete at last time though? What was your weight last time you got on stage?
Where were you at?
190.
No, when you competed.
Oh gosh, when I stepped on stage.
Yeah.
176 or 5.
So you got 5, 7, 8 pounds still to go. Yeah, that's good.
Oh yeah. No, realistically, I was 170.
271.
Yeah.
He wasn't shredded. He was in shape, but he wasn't shredded.
So you got 10, 12 pounds. You could probably gain a muscle. That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think he's going to gain really fast because he's kind of like a newbie, as far as programming and stuff like that. So he's fresh. So,
so we're going to see a big growth spurt from him, in other words. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so his body's ready to grow. So we're taking it moderately to see how he responds. And he's responding on very little. So we're going to keep it that way. He's got 3 children. He's got a family. So I want to make this important. But, it's all about his life and his health. That's number one in my mind. That's what I told him from the beginning.
How old are you now, Antonio? Wow, I just saw you do a backflip with dumbbells in your hand on your Instagram. That's insane.
That is retarded, huh?
It's actually scary to watch. It's so crazy.
And with flip-flops, Dave. He had flip-flops on. I tease him when I talk about athleticism. I said, man, you ain't more athletic than me. He's like, oh, come on, man. You don't know nothing. I said, yes, I do.
I'd like to see you try that, Troy. You probably break your head.
Oh, God. I wouldn't even get halfway over there.
What's your background, Antonio? Were you a gymnast or something?
I was just really athletic, man. But so really, any
Track guy, right?
Yeah, I ended up doing track because I was fast. And again, like I said, I thought it was going to be lacrosse. I was just really athletic, but never was on organized sports until like 8th grade.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, I got in high school and doors just blew open.
Right. Right. What was your like times? What were your best sprint times?
So I ran a 40-yard dash. I ran it a few times, but the best was 4.27. They made me run it a few times in high school.
Were you a football player? Is that why?
Oh yeah. Football was first. Track came much later.
Gotcha.
But I was always fast. So even as a freshman, they had me doing kick returns with the seniors because I was just fast, and they needed somebody to.
Right.
And I was stupid enough to do it. But no, that lacrosse, man. I mean, I was really, Long Island's big for lacrosse.
Yeah.
So I was the guy clearing it from X, running the ball down to get the offense going. But so that once I got to college, though, it was more about technique.
Right.
These guys been running forever. I was just athletic. So I got to a point where it was like, if I'm not running a 10-2, 10-1, I don't care to you know what I mean? Like something, I'm not competitive. And
right.
It was hard. It was challenging. It wasn't until I went to
So you ran the 100 meters? That was your race?
I ran the 100. I ran the 60. The 200 occasionally in a 4x1.
Was it meters or yards?
Meters.
It was meters.
Back in what? People don't realize a 10-1 100 meters is like insanely fast. I mean,
oh God, that's another level.
That's Olympic level. Most guys, very few guys go under 10. Just the elite guys.
Yep. Yeah, those are the Olympia champions that run under 10.
Yeah.
That's like another.
How
level.
tall are you, Antonio?
He's a midget.
Oh my gosh, Troy Clint. Listen, Dave. Troy swears he's tall. He's not that much taller than me. But I would say on a great day, I'm like 5'6".
Great day. Great.
Those sprinters are really got long legs. Usually, they're taller. Most of those guys.
My torso isn't that long. So
he's explosive. He got the legs, man. His legs are powerful.
So when did you realize, that sports in college wasn't going to be, where you weren't going to be going to the NFL? And that you wanted to do something else. At what point did that kind of?
When I came back from Dominican Republic, I came back up, and I was in Syracuse, New York, and I was on campus, and I'm thinking to myself I don't have the competition to prepare me for the Olympia in 2016.
Right.
I got to figure something out. So I said I'm just going to start my professional career. It was hard because that's all I knew was sports.
Right. Of course.
And it was a hard transition, but I was eager. Because I never wanted to be a statistic,
gotcha.
So I said, but I always worked out, but I didn't bodybuild. I would just always lift. So but that was a turning point. And then I got into, working with troubled youth and realized the leadership ability I have. Mm-hmm. Then I went back to school and I'm getting my doctoral now, but I seen the path when I got back.
So what do you teach?
Other gifts
you're a teacher now? What do you do now for for work?
Well, I'm a program manager now. I oversee clinicians and coordinators.
Okay.
But I oversee. It's a big program. It's a children department. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, I'm establishing myself to do my own business and help contract schools, help kids.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because we definitely need that.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Believe me, 100% we need that, without a doubt. So that's good. I mean, you have a good balance. Where do you see Well, let me ask Troy, because it's hard to talk about yourself. How far do you think this guy can go? Can he go all the way, Troy?
Yeah, I believe he can, D. I think that he's got all the attributes, and he's hardworking. He listens well. He doesn't have a big ego to where thinks he knows it all in any way, shape, or form. So he's when you got someone like that that's willing to listen and then put the work in and has genetics, yeah, the sky's the limit for him.
Cool.
And that's being honest. Whether he was here or not, I'd tell you the exact same thing.
Who do you like, Troy, in the classic physique division? Which competitors in your mind are like the perfect classic physique?
What was that guy's name? Rumstead?
You saw Rough Diesel?
Rough Diesel. I liked his physique a lot, and I'm not too fond of him as a person. Well, I can't say a person. From what I see of him, the Bumstead. You know, when you really look at his physique, he pretty much what he did from one year to the next, especially his back, was absolutely amazing. Yeah. I mean, that was I never seen that much of a transformation from one year to the next with the back. I mean, it was like
he
a
was
whole
sick
different
though.
body.
You got to remember he has that IgA nephropathy. So nephropathy. Excuse me.
So how was he able to put that size on?
Because I don't think he was able to really train like the year before the way he needed to, and because of COVID and him being sequestered, he wasn't going out, he wasn't partying,
Gotcha.
he took care of his health, I think, and so he had a really good solid year of being in good shape. So I think that's what did it. The guy, obviously, he's a genetic freak. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. And I love his flow, though. I like the flow of his physique. And every shot, he poses extremely well, and he looks the way a classic bodybuilder is supposed to look.
Right.
There's nothing overpowering, but everything flows extremely well.
Will he be hard to knock off because of he's got the height on a lot of these guys,
Exactly. That's what I was telling Antonio, that's a tough guy to beat just because he's tall,
right,
and he's got shoulder width with a small waist and enough sweep on his quads that he flows from the front and back extremely well. It's very, very difficult for him to beat unless he just comes in off. But somebody like Antonio, as great as he could be, is still going to be beyond tough to beat him just because of his height,
right?
And that flow. So nothing against him. It's just that he just ran into an Arnold, and being a Franco Palumbo.
You're right. You're right. I mean, then you got obviously Rough Diesel. You got Breon Ansley, who won the Olympia. A couple of those guys seem to batch up with Antonio like better in terms of like their height and their structure.
That's where I see Antonio. He can match with those guys extremely well.
Yeah.
And I think Breon. I like Breon's physique the year before more so than this year. I thought he just put on a little too much size and lost a little bit of the flow to his physique. He's in great shape, but when I looked at last year to this year, big, but he didn't have as pretty as a physique. It didn't flow as well to me.
Right.
So I don't know. Try to play a little bit of a size game as much as you could within the classic division.
Yeah. Did you ever look at your height to weight? Would you have ever been able to make classic if you were a competitor?
I would have killed classic. I would have killed it.
You would have made it. You would have made the weight class though.
No,
no. What 5'9"? What's the weight limit? 5'9".
I want to say, actually, maybe it's like one.
No, it's got to be over one. You're 180. It's in the
like 190.
It might be 190. Yeah. Something like that.
Oh, I couldn't have made that.
No, I think you were too big, Troy. Or even 200, you wouldn't be able to weight.
No, because I got down to I almost felt like a string being at 212 when I made the 212 class.
No, you had too much muscle. Yeah, you had a big back and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way I could make. I thought it was heavier than that.
No, you wouldn't have. Now at
how tall is Chris Bumstead?
He's like what?
He's like 6'3", isn't he, or something like that? He's really tall. 6'1", 2". Yeah.
Oh, what's his weight class? You think
he's like 2?
He's still under it, too. He can still gain muscle. Like that's the crazy thing.
Yeah, I know he still can.
He's 10 pounds under or something.
He's got like hollow bones, that kid. I swear to God, or something. Yeah. The tall guys really have an advantage because they can weigh a lot more than the shorter guys.
Yeah, I agree. That's why as long as he doesn't lose his aesthetic, man. I don't know how he's going to be beat in that classic, but it's going to just be super tough.
That guy, Steve, remember Black Guy Soldier? To me, that's his biggest competition. What's Steve Lowry? What's his name? He didn't compete last year.
Steve Lorius. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, too. He has a lot of potential.
Yeah, but he also fits into that same type of physique that you have and that Breon has and Rough Diesel.
What about the guy from here? The guy from here.
Oh, what's his name? Jones. He took fourth. Dave. What's his He took fourth in classic last year.
The guy from Arizona here, the tall guy.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, he's good. He's really good.
You there, Dave?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, what's that tall guy's name that from Arizona that has the big braid?
Yeah, I'm trying. I like him a lot. He's very artistic. That guy. I've interviewed him a couple times. I'm blanking on his name. He's really good. I'm actually very impressed with his physique. He's like a Kai Green almost, with the way he poses and stuff.
Yes. The only downfall is he has like no calves, zero.
No,
zero.
True.
And I think classic usually you can get away with bodybuilding because Dexter didn't have big calves. I didn't have big, but I had enough showing in the back.
Yeah.
But he didn't have he's like Johnny Jackson kind of calves. I mean, that's the only knock on him. But and obviously the thing I saw with him, he didn't get any separation in his quads or anything like that. I don't know if that was lack of conditioning or lack of posing.
I don't think he knows what he's doing, to be honest with you. I think he's just also just kind of learning his body. I think he's one of these genetic freaks that just does everything wrong but still looks amazing type of thing,
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
That's another
he's
guy
the
you
one-
got to get in your stable of competitors over there.
Yeah, I'd love to help him out, man, because he's got all the potential in the world too.
He's got a lot of bells and whistles for sure.
Yeah,
Well, I know
yes,
you got to
sir.
go pick up your son, so I'm going to let you go. But Antonio, thanks for contacting me. Keep me informed.
Absolutely.
Let me know what show you're going to do later in the year. Troy, I'm glad to see you're doing well and the kids are doing good, and keep in touch.
I appreciate it. Now, how's your health, real quick? D, you doing good?
Yeah, I got my thyroid gland. I had a thyroid nodule. Turned out to be cancerous, papillary cancer, which is obviously the least. I guess if you're gonna get a thyroid cancer, that's the best one to get. They removed my thyroid, but I had a couple cells that had gone to the lymph nodes, so they gave me radioactive iodine this past Friday, and I get scanned this Friday to see actually where it went, because what it does is it kind of targets all the thyroid cells and the cancer cells that might be left in my body, if there are any, and it destroys them basically. So hopefully I'm done. Hopefully that's it.
I'll be praying for you, man.
Thank you.
want
I
you to get
appreciate
well.
that.
All right, brother. I
Great
appreciate
talking to you
giving
both,
Antonio
and
time.
we'll keep in touch with you, and we'll track your progress and your road to the 2021 contest season. For now, though, I'm Dave Palumbo
sir.
for another installment of Live With. We'll see you next time.
All right, D. Later, brother.
Take care, guys.